Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here for the first drive back in super sunny San Diego, California, and it's all about this vehicle right here. What is it? It's your 2025 changed up, refreshed, and updated MDX Type S. But before we get into this performance SUV with that 3-row flexibility, let's talk about what's going on here. So performance SUVs still being very popular, especially with the German Euro brands, but Acura is taking an evolutionary standpoint with the MDX and of course the MDX Type S. We're seeing a change not only to the exterior, but some big changes to the interior with their best-selling SUV. They have sold more MDXs than any other vehicle in their lineup. Now, of course, when we think of performance SUVs, a lot of those are going to be BMWs and Audis and Mercedes-AMG products. But what I want to do is I want to compare this vehicle to not only a BMW X5, but also that rival Japanese premium brand Lexus with the RX 500h F Sport Performance. So let's go ahead, let's dive into our refreshed 2025 MDX Type S and see, is it the better one to buy over the Lexus and the BMW? Let's go ahead and find out. Right off the bat, the color. This is new for 2025. This is urban gray pearl metallic. You have seen it on other Honda and Acura vehicles like the TLX, but this is the first time on the MDX Type S. Now at the front of the business, you're still gonna get that signature headlight housing, that multi-jewel LED beam headlights. We have LED turn signals, and of course, we have this signature chicane daytime running lamps. Now, as we work our way down, here's one of the changes right off the bat. You have this ginormous corner air intakes. You can actually see the heat exchangers that cool air is gonna flush into, and they still kept the LED fog lamps. But with this more aggressive front end, you got a balance of some body color and then the gloss black accents for the venting and the housing for your fog lamps. Now, as we come across that precision crafted performance grille, you do have a forward-facing camera, this massive Acura badge, and then you'll see how they actually opened up and redesigned the grille to flow more cool air. Of course, we gotta have our Type S badge. This is a true performance SUV from Acura. And on the bottom portion, you can actually see the intercooler lurking behind our redesigned lower grille. And what's nice about it is that it has the same shape as the design up top. So it has a cohesive design, but this is all new for 2025, and it allows it to bring more air for the cooling from that turbocharged power. Now, as we rise up, you have that signature peak design, starts on the front fascia, goes into the hood. You can see the gold mist of that urban gray pearl metallic. And then as we come around the bend, if we have new style, we have new color, we also have new wheels. So coming around the bend, what do we got going on? 21-inch wheels, machined aluminum gloss black with our Brembo 4-piston calipers up front, that bright tomato sauce red. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what kind of tires, size tires do we have? All 4 corners, 275 on the width, 40 series sidewall. Rotors are a little over 14 inches up front in diameter and a little over 13 inches out back to give us some nice stability, strong braking. This does use the same brake setup as the mighty NSX. And then you'll also, I'm gonna have Steven kind of zoom in and show you that we do have our adaptive air ride suspension. So the leveling of this vehicle can be adjusted depending on what mode you're in, and you have your upper control arm, of course the air ride system built into the shock absorber, and they did go through and retune that, especially the chassis. Now, one thing I wish that they would have changed, that I am gonna zonk, is I wish the gloss black was body color, especially when you look at the Type S. Let me know how you feel about it in the comment section, and let me know how you feel about the wheels. Definitely a cleaner, more aggressive design than the Lexus. The Lexus, the RX 500h, has that spindle grille design. I know it's not for everybody. This has, I think, that more traditional, aggressive, sporty style. Now, coming down the side, you do have your Type S badge. Just a little bit of gloss black that they add with the trim as it flows into our side windows. You'll notice that we have the gloss black on the mirror caps, 360-degree cameras, and your turn signals blended in when you lock the doors. Those are power folding side mirrors. Glad they didn't go raised roof rail. So you have a nice closed roof rail. You could get your crossbars, but it's gloss black to match all the other appointments that are gloss black, especially around our window frames. You do get color match on the door handles, and then a little bit of gloss black along the bottom side skirt, and then also this trim that sort of looks like a big, huge butter knife. Now, coming towards the rear, what's interesting is that, remember, with the super handling all-wheel drive, 70% of the power can be sent to the rear wheels, and then from that 70%, 100% can be either sent to the passenger side or the driver's side, depending on what the ground and the grip level is telling your MDX Type S. Now, coming towards the rear, just like we had some changes up front, we get some changes to the rear. Love the taillight design, especially how, look at the nice kind of signature style they put on the interior there, but you have full LEDs. I wish that they would make the spoiler a little bit longer on the Type S, especially because I would love to get rid of this guy here and have it tucked underneath. That would really clean it up, but that's a zonk, having that big exposed wiper. And then, of course, you're going to get your MDX, your super handling all-wheel drive badges. We got to have one more Type S badge. It's nice to have badges all four corners. And then as we go all the way down to ground level, they did a spectacular job with our quad tip exhaust, nice stainless steel slash cut. Love the way they work this lower bumper diffuser area, but definitely has that nice presence that you come to expect from a sporty performance-esque SUV. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk numbers on this Acura. All right, guys, we got the hood popped open. You do have hood struts. Like the tasteful engine cover, really did a great job. You can see the single large turbocharger that we have. And then if you look underneath the hood, what's kind of cool on the backside of the hood, you see this part here? When you close the hood, it actually seals around the air intake here and forces air down into the air box. So nice to see that kind of design for the performance. But what do we got going on? You got a 3-liter V6 turbocharged engine, 355 horsepower, 354 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission, torque converter, automatic transmission, 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. Top speed, 112 miles per hour. MPGs, 17 in the city, 21 on the highway. The vehicle weighs 4,609 pounds, and you could tow up to 5,000 pounds with your Acura MDX. Now, what's kind of nice is that if you compare this to the Lexus, the RX 500h F Sport Performance, that is a hybrid-based setup. This is just the good old-fashioned internal combustion engine and your turbocharger. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire up this Acura MDX Type S and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Acura MDX Type S. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I need a new SUV. I just found out I'm having another child, and we need a little bit more room. But you know what? I'm not ready to give up, my car enthusiast membership card and just go with a mundane SUV. I want something with some performance. I've been looking at the BMW X5 and the 50e version of it. I've been looking at the RX 500h. How much is this MDX Type S? Very good question. Congratulations on the new child along the way. But MSRP, you're looking at $76,300 for this Acura MDX Type S. We'll see how it compares to the competition. To the door panels. I love the new blue leather interior. First of all, you have soft touch up top, all black, real wood, and it's a nice dark stained wood, ambient lighting, 64 different flavors of lighting, and then you'll notice that you have not only one, not only two, but three memory seat settings for the passenger and the driver. The new blue leather is spectacular, especially on our urban gray pearl metallic. The Bang & Olufsen 31 speaker sound system, and I love the way the speaker grills are that nice flat black color, and then you see all that great contrast stitching. Down below, you got a door pocket large enough. There's a place down the street from where we're at for 6 street tacos and a large bottle of Mexican Coca-Cola. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, the Bang & Olufsen sound system, the soft touch material, the stitching, the real wood finish. My one zonk is too much gloss black. Too much gloss black. I wish they brought the wood down a little bit more, but the way that they did the blue, you do have a nice little area here for a 12 volt. You're gonna wanna run it because how quick this is. There's even ambient lighting along the base of the gloss black there. Right now I have it red for the Type S. Slide on in, you have an all-new 12.3-inch infotainment system. It's actually closer to the driver and the passenger because guess what? For the first time, it's full touchscreen. You got your Google Maps, Google Assistant. Look at the little stars that are kind of drifting through space. Amazon Alexa. This is where you could change your lighting. And what's cool is you could change the lighting based on different things. So Racetrack and Suzuka, we're in Sport Plus mode. That's where we get that nice down. It's just cool how they have all these different themes. Very nicely done. And then we're right back where we started. Going to your Google Maps. New, and I'm gonna have Steven show the stock here for the windshield wipers. You see how it says camera? Hit that. We have our new camera watch system. Full 360 degrees, nice clear resolution. You could actually change on the screen, or watch this. I hit the button, and now we can look at those 21-inch wheels so you don't scratch them on a curb. And then we're right back where we all started this journey. Working our way down, really nice switch gear for your dual climate control. You got that bright silver start-stop button with the red LED illumination. Down below, you actually have 3 stages of massage seats, 3 stages of seat heating, and seat ventilation. So that's really nice for both passengers. We have our dynamic mode control knob. Let me dismiss this so Steven could show you the graphics. I mean, this is like Forza meets Gran Turismo means driving a vehicle. Here's where you can lift it, because like I said, you have your air ride suspension, snow. Of course, you know where we're going. You gotta hold it to go where we're gonna go. Sport Plus mode. So nicely done. Of course, you also have wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. Hit this little guy here. You got a USB-C, USB-A. I don't really love the amount of gloss black. Your push button transmission selector for your 10-speed automatic. Real volume knob, and this is all new for 2025 because they got rid of the precision touchpad. There's your Type S key fob. I like the way they give you a different key fob than the other MDXs. A place for 2 Twinkies. You just gotta squeeze them in there a little bit. 2 cup holders. If you have that iPad style cell phone, large enough wireless charging. Look at the blue. The blue is so classy yet sporty all at the same time. Lift it up. You got a nice little tray here for your coins that you collect on all your different journeys when you go to different countries. And then you got 2 more USB-Cs and enough room. You could easily stack 5 of Randy's Donuts. We went over to Randy's Donuts. Steven wanted to go. He's like, I've never been. We got to go to Randy's Donuts. He's seen it in the movies. He's seen it in his video games that he's played. And we were able to put 5 in there. The problem is I can't show you them because Steven ate them all. Thanks a lot, Steven. Seats, the leather, the piping. Look at the Type S embossed, the wonderful stitching, even some Alcantara material, decent bolstering, full electric assist for the passenger, of course, full electric assist for the driver. And then we have that massive power shade for our panoramic sunroof. So you want to get some Sunny D, you can either go to Whole Foods or you could open up the shade and get the sunny D to rain on you from good old Mother Earth with the sun. Nice touch. But why don't you get over here? I want to show you where not only you, but your mother, your father, and the rest of your family is going to want to put their hands on. It's the steering wheel in this Type S. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. Like I said, if you're lucky enough or crazy enough to let your two friends drive your MDX Type S, you have two memory seat settings for them. I do like the nice, simplistic Type S sill plate, nice aluminum pedal box right out of a freaking Acura race car. Large aluminum dev pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. No Type S on the floor mats. That's a zonk. You get that on the TLX, WTF. But you do get all these great seat controls, really have it conform to your body. I'm 6 feet tall, and what's great is there's plenty of room. And then here's the steering wheel I was telling you about. This is what all your friends and your family are gonna wanna touch. They're not gonna wanna touch you and hug you. They're gonna wanna hug this steering wheel because love the two different types of leather, the stitching, the Type S badge. You got your thumb wheel drive controls, and you have paddles behind the wheel to go up and down that 10-speed automatic, and it is electric tilting and telescoping. Then, of course, you have your digital gauge cluster. When you go into your different modes, it changes. So right now we're in Sport Plus. There goes Sport. All the way through. Really, really nicely done. Look how you have the Google Maps right on the screen there. Nice, clear technology. Love the way they're bringing that on this MDX. And then, of course, you have a massive head-up display. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the mid-row and see that if there's enough space for your passengers in this MDX. All right, guys, mid-row time. And what's awesome is that you and your passengers in the mid-row are going to get the same nice treatment as the front row because you're just wrapped in this beautiful blue leather. You have the real wood finish on the doors, the Bang & Olufsen sound system wrapped around you like a big blanket, a sound blanket. And then you'll see the piping, the stitching, that soft leather. You have these large pockets where you'll be easily able to put probably a Simon Says, a Texas Instrument calculator, a Speak and Say, all sorts of things technology-wise to keep the kids entertained, and they don't have to be on their phones. Simon Says is a ton of fun, and you don't need an app for it. You don't need to have Wi-Fi. You just need to have some batteries. Nice little command center. There is a ton of gloss black though, not my favorite. You do have your digital readout for your temperature, your blower fan, and you do have heated seats, but WTF, once again, that's a big zonk. I need ventilated seats in the mid-row on a $76,000 vehicle. Here you have a 12 volt, two USB-Cs, and this looks like it's gonna be a home power source, but it's not. I'm sure there's some option somewhere in outer space that makes that a home power source, but on the Type S, it should automatically be there. What's cool about the MDX is that it's sort of like a transformer. And growing up, I used to love Transformers, and I was just so torn, man. It's like I love the Autobots because I love cars, and I feel like I'm a pretty good guy, but I also like the Decepticons too. So I really was in a tug of war between them. Now, the reason why I bring any of this up is not just to tell you more about myself, but to also show you how this is a transformer. So let's say you don't want this. You don't want to have the captain's chair arrangement with the two cup holders and a nice place for some nachos with the hot melted cheese on it. Watch this. Boom. Now you have three across. So if your kid has that one annoying friend named Steven that just always wants to come with the family whenever you guys go to the mall or to the movies, you got an extra room up here if you don't have any room in the back. The seats do slide and they do recline. Another thing that's great is you could actually remove this whole center area. So all you got to do is you go down like that, and then you could remove this whole area just like that and throw this in the back. So what you could do is that, here's something smart. So if you can't stand your son's friend named Steven, like he's just so freaking annoying, just put this in the cargo area in the storage space and just pretend like you don't have a seat for him. One and done, that's all you gotta do. But you'll notice in the mid-row, like I said, the wonderful seat material. But my question is, mid-row gets a lot of good plus marks. Obviously, no ventilated mid-row seats and no home power source. But let's see what the third row is going to bring for those that you love and maybe don't love as much in that backseat area. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, backseat area, and it's a little bit of a mixed bag. It's very tight back here. This is one of those vehicles, it's right on the cusp that it's nice that you have a third row, but I would only use it for emergencies. You can see just how high my knees are. Another thing that I don't like is they went with, it's still blue. I'm not so sure if this is leather, and if you notice all the stitching, they got a little bit of stitching, but you lose all the stitching in the center and the Alcantara and all that, so I'm a little disappointed, and that's definitely a zonk. You do have LED lighting, which is nice, and I have the Bang & Olufsen speakers back here, so I'll be able to hear that clear audio, and you do get USB-A's, but there's no actual AC vent back here. That, to me, is ridiculous, and that's a big, big zonk because, as you already know, from watching a lot of my reviews, I sweat a lot, and I would like to have some AC back here so I'm not sweating and develop really bad BO. But other than that, you do have some space to bring 2 extra people, probably the people that you like the least in your life. I would have them sit back here. But let's get into the cargo area and see what we could haul, because I want to haul some butt in this MDX Type S. All right, guys, time to get in the cargo area. Of course, you hit the button, you have nice electric assist. I went ahead and left the third row up just to show you how much space we have. And if you like hard numbers, I got the numbers for you. 16.3 cubic feet of space with the third row up. Now, let me point some things out to you. I like the way they have this nice little tray here for a gallon of Yoo-Hoo. You do have easy access for a 12 volt, which is great because if you take the kids down to the beach here in San Diego and they want that stupid raft inflated, it's good to just plug in an electric air pump rather than use your lungs and all your precious oxygen and being able to live. So nice that they have that there. Watch this. Lift this up, you have tons of storage. So you have great storage capacity, easily put 24 boxes of Twinkies underneath. And then what's kind of nice is you could take this out and flip it over. So if you do go to the beach, and you know and I know the kids, they have all of their dirt and sand all over the place on their flip-flops, on the toys and all that, you could put it here and this will be a lot easier to vacuum than on the carpet side. Plus, if you take out that center console from the mid-row, you could store it back here. So that's smart engineering. Now, if you need to make a little bit more room, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All you're gonna do is you pull down, seat folds down like that. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You now have almost 40 cubic feet of space. You have, actually, yeah, 39.1 cubic feet of space. And then if you fold down the mid-row, that's gonna give you 71.4 cubic feet of space. Now, I'm gonna have Steven kind of swing back in and just show you what I was dealing with in the third row. You just have these hard plastic armrests, the single yogurt holders, the Yoplait yogurt holders, but I do like the way the seats fold flat, and it does give you plenty of room. You also have USB-A's back here, which is a nice extra plus, and our 31 speakers, which is crazy to think that this vehicle has 31 speakers, but you know what? Why don't we go for a little spin? I know Steven is hungry, he's a little overheated. We're gonna go somewhere where they have 31 flavors, since we have 31 speakers. Where's that? Let's go on throttle to Baskin-Robbins and see how this thing drives. All right, guys, we are behind the wheel of this 2024 Acura MDX Type S, and right away, you're gonna love the changes that they made to the interior, especially when you're behind the wheel. Getting to the all-new 12.3-inch infotainment system. Like I said, it's 3 inches closer to you. That makes it very usable as an infotainment system to where you have that touchscreen capability. So getting to the touchscreen, very easy. You of course have all of your familiar icons and apps, and then you also have the side screen, which is also full touchscreen capability But nice to, I know for many of you, to finally see the touchscreen in an Acura MDX, especially the Type S. We have that nice large gauge cluster. And what's great is going down the road, you have this very rigid chassis, but not in a bad way to where you get a bunch of noise and vibration. It just helps you feel planted, super smooth. You have the new Acura lane watch system, which makes driving on the highway so much easier. And of course, the versatility of 3-row capability. But of course, just like before, looking out the windshield, lots of great visibility, and then you have all that power. 355 horsepower allows you that if you need to make a lane change or merge on the highway, it's super, super simple because you have plenty of scoot underneath the hood. The seats, not only do they look fantastic, especially when you compare them to a Lexus vehicle, but very supportive in all the right ways. I love the way when you go to gain access to make any adjustments, it shows up on the screen here so that you're not just, you know, reading Braille with your fingers. You're actually able to see what the heck you're adjusting and how you're adjusting it, which is really nice as well for 2024. And it just allows you to take your hands off the wheel and it keeps everything nice and centered. And you'll see that as we go into this bend here, it's actually going to turn the wheel. So you could see how that Acura lane watch. And what's great about it is that in the past, Honda and Acura's lane watch system, like their lane keep assist, was very ping pong. Like you would bounce back and forth in between the lines. This is so much smoother. All right, guys, I'm gonna leave the transmission just in regular automatic mode, and we're going to go on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Love the way the tack changes colors around the perimeter, especially when you're in Sport Plus mode. But as you can see, I mean, it's just a fun SUV to drive. Whether you're using the paddles, whether you're letting the transmission shift for itself, it's a very smart gearbox for a traditional torque converter automatic transmission. And I love the way it does the downshifts. I think that's one of my favorite things, is that it helps keep the chassis really stable with the way that it kind of almost blips the throttle on the downshifts when you're in Sport Plus mode. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go on throttle. Here we go. It's like you can feel the power being sent to the rear wheels. Here we go, baby. And as you can hear, there's not a lot of noise that's coming into the chassis. A little bit of road noise. I mean, that's to be expected with those larger wheels, but still very, very well buttoned down. And then what's great is that you just go into your dynamic mode. You could go into normal, you could go into comfort, and now you can just sit back and have a leisure family drive. All right, guys, been another fun, twisty bits, cruising kind of day with this Acura MDX Type S. I gotta thank everybody at Acura for inviting us for the first drive. But let me know what you think. Are you going Lexus RX? Are you going BMW X5? Let me know down in that comment section how you're gonna spend your hard-earned money. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, we need to give it up, Stephen Flood. He's in love and he's feeling good and he loves San Diego, so show him some love, because it's all about love. Stephen and love are like two peas in a pod, so show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for having such a big heart. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.